In this video, you will see SAGA Choreography in action. Please note that this video is part of a course titled Domain-Driven Design and Microservices for Architects. Details of the course and link to the repository is available in the description. In earlier lectures, you have learned that ACME sales prepare multiple proposals for the customer. When the customer confirms a proposal, the booking process is initiated. The booking process involves charging the customer's credit card and making reservations for all parts of the vacation package. In this lesson, you will learn about how the booking process may be implemented using the SAGA pattern. We'll go over the success and failure scenarios in the booking SAGA flow, and then you will see the booking SAGA flow in action. The ACME's IT team has decided to build the booking process as a SAGA. They understand that it is difficult to implement SAGA without a framework, so they will take an evolutionary approach in which they will build version 1 of booking SAGA without any framework and will keep things as simple as possible so that they can understand how the SAGA pattern works. This lesson discusses how they have implemented the version 1 of booking SAGA flow. The booking flow SAGA will consist of 3 services: booking SAGA service, payment service, and the reservation service. Each of these services will maintain their state in a separate database. For this version 1 implementation, instead of maintaining the state in separate databases, we'll maintain the state in the collections in a common database. The SAGA is initiated when a transaction is invoked on the booking SAGA service. This is for adding the booking. This will lead to the emitting of an event which will be received by both the payment service and reservation service. Reservation service will ignore this event, whereas the payment service will execute the transaction for processing the payment. On successful processing of payment, the payment service will emit an event which will be received by the reservation service, and in response to the successful payment, the reservation service will execute a transaction to process the reservations. If everything goes fine, then the booking will be confirmed in the booking SAGA. But let's say there is a failure in reservation service, in which case the reservations that were successful will be cancelled and an event will be emitted by the reservation service, which will be received by both the booking SAGA and the payment service. The payment service will refund the payment to the customer since the reservations were unsuccessful, and the booking SAGA will mark the booking as failed. Next, let's go over a scenario in which all of the transactions in the booking SAGA flow were successful. The booking SAGA flow gets triggered when a booking is added to the booking SAGA service. The booking SAGA service emits an event booking added. This event is received by the payment service. The payment service carries out the processing of the payment. It charges the customer's credit card. Successful processing leads to the emitting of the payment success event, which is received by the reservation service. The reservation service carries out the processing of the reservations. For example, if the package contains hotel and car rental, it'll carry out the reservation for both the hotel and the car rental. If all of the reservations are successful, it emits the event reservation success event, which is received by both the booking SAGA service and the payment service. The booking SAGA service, on receiving event reservation success event, marks the booking as successful. Next, let's go over a scenario in which the payment service failed. So booking SAGA service emits the event booking added. The payment service tries to process it and there is a failure. So the payment service executes a compensating transaction and emits the event payment failed event, which is received by the booking SAGA service. The booking SAGA service marks the booking as failed. Next, let's consider the scenario in which the reservations service failed. Booking SAGA service emits the event booking added, which is received by the payment service. The payment service carries out the processing, emits the event payment success, which is received by the reservations service. The reservations service tries to reserve the various parts of the vacation package. For example, if the vacation package consists of car rental and hotel, it will try to reserve both the car rental as well as the hotel. If all reservations are successful, then the reservation considers that as a successful transaction. If any one of the reservations fail, then the reservation service considers that as a failure. In this scenario, let's say the car rental was successful, but the hotel rental was not successful. In that scenario, the reservation service will execute the compensating transaction to cancel the reservation for the car rental and then emit the event reservation failed, which will be received by both the payment service and the booking SAGA service. And both of these services will then execute their compensating transaction. The booking SAGA service will mark the booking as failed. Next, let's talk about the implementation stack for the booking SAGA flow. In the version 1 of the implementation, a common Kafka topic will be used for all events. The name of the topic is booking SAGA. Recall that if you're using Cloud Kafka, we need to follow this naming convention for the topic. All of the events will be published with the key set to booking ID. And what that means is that for a specific booking, all of the events will end up in the same partition and the order of the events will be guaranteed. Each of the services maintain their own state in independent collections in a common MongoDB database that we already have in place. In later versions, you may consider implementing this flow with multiple topics and multiple databases. But please keep in mind, in version 1, we are going with a common database and a common topic. Before I show you the booking SAGA in action, let me show you how it's implemented. There are three main service classes. The booking SAGA class manages the state of the booking SAGA. The payment service simulates the processing of payments, and the reservation service simulates the processing of reservations. The run SAGA test class executes the add booking transaction on the booking SAGA service to initiate the flow of the booking SAGA. I've already created a topic on Cloud Kafka. This topic is used for publishing of events from the booking SAGA repository, payment repository, and reservation repository. The three services listen for the events. So the booking SAGA class, the payment service, and the reservation service are implemented as message handlers for the Kafka topic. All of the repository classes extend the MongoDB base class, writes and reads from their respective collections in the ACME Travels database in MongoDB. So let's go ahead and see the booking SAGA flow in action. As a first step, I'm going to launch the three services that are part of the SAGA: booking SAGA, payment service, and the reservation service. While this is launching, let me show you the topic. This is the topic to which these services will publish. Click on the browser, and we're going to listen to the messages on this topic. Consume, and all the messages which will be published by the three services will appear over here. Now to test, we will use the run SAGA test service, set the booking ID to 1. When I'll execute the run SAGA test, it is going to trigger a transaction on the booking SAGA object, and that will start the flow of events. So let's go ahead and execute run SAGA test. We'll watch for the events appearing in the consumer here. This is our first event, came from the booking SAGA object. The event is booking added, and then the payment processor picked up the event, successfully processed the payment, emitted the event booking payment success. Now event booking payment success was picked up by the reservation service, and it simulated a successful reservation that led to the emitting of event booking reservation success, which was then picked up by the booking SAGA, and booking SAGA then emitted the event booking confirmed. The key here, as you can observe, is the booking ID 1. Each of the three services created a collection in the ACME Travels database. This is the collection for booking SAGA, and as you can see here, we have the information on the booking. The booking ID is 1. The current state is booking confirmed. So as a next step, we'll try to simulate a failure in the reservation to see how the compensations will work. To simulate failure on reservation, click on reservation service, and you see this simulate success percent 65. That means 65% of the time there will be a successful reservation. So let me change this to 0. So what that means is that there is a 100% chance of failure. So we will kill the reservation service so that this change is picked up, rerun it, go back to run SAGA test, change this to, let's say, 2, and we are ready to run our test. Before running this test, let's go back to the console, click on consume again so that the earlier messages are cleared. Now we are ready to run the test. Go back to the browser. Here is the event booking added. Payment processor is processing and the payment processor was successful, emitted event booking payment success. And here is the event booking reservation failure, which was picked up by both Booking Saga and the payment service. Booking Saga emitted the event booking failed. In the Booking Saga collection, as you can see, the current state is booking failed for booking ID 2. If you look at the reservations, the success flag for booking ID 2 is set to false. The confirmation code is set to failed. The payments collection, we should see a refund. And as you can see here, the transaction was successful, but it was eventually refunded as a result of the failure of reservations. So our Saga seemed to be working. In the next lesson, I'll walk you through the code and design of the Booking Saga implementation. I'll also show you the steps that you need to carry out in order for testing out this flow locally. So join me in the next lesson.